In this video, I thought I would talk about two-on-ones. A common situation that you'll find yourself in when you're in a real-world fight scenario is that it's not always a one-on-one fight. All too often, it's someone and their buddy. You're going to get two-on-one, you might get three-on-ones. This is where traditional martial arts schools really differ from the sport-focused martial arts schools. Because instead of one-on-one, preparing you for one-on-one combat, which is typical in a sport environment, you learn all the techniques that you need to survive in real-world self-defense situations. And that means knowing how to fight in two-on-ones. So when a two-on-one fight situation usually starts, I'll represent the two attackers in blue, and you're going to be represented with the yellow magnet here. So a typical scenario is that you're going to encounter two people, say this is in a bar, wherever it happens to be, and you're probably going to get a situation like this to start out with. So here's you're facing the two attackers, and they're both side by side like this. If a fight were to start from this situation here, then if you stay where you are, both attackers can get you. You can hit both attackers, but you're going to get clobbered, and you're going to get clobbered pretty quickly in that situation. The very first thing that you want to do in a two-on-one situation, which, like I said, they're usually going to start out like this. The first thing that you want to do is you want to move away from one of the two attackers. So you want to ultimately put yourself in a situation where you can be, let's see, I can illustrate like this. You want to move such that you always have one attacker between you and the other attacker. So this is an ideal situation to be in. This is where you would like to get to in a two-on-one fight. So what's going to happen if you can get it such that you have one attacker between you and the other attacker? What's going to happen is the second guy here is ultimately going to move around either this way or this way. He's going to move around to try and recreate the two-on-one situation, or what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to get a situation like this. This would be the worst possible situation for the defender. So if you find yourself in this position where you have an attacker on either side of you, that's the most dangerous position you can be in, because now you can only see one of the two attackers, and the person that's behind you can now blindside you. So they can either grab hold of you and hold you while the other attacker attacks you, but more likely they're just going to blindside you, hit you in the back of the head, whatever, knock you out, and the fight's going to be over at that point very quickly. So if you find yourself in a position like this where you've got somebody behind you, you've got to get out of that situation as quickly as possible. So again, this is better than this scenario here. Anything is better than this. So if you can move out and create some separation there between the two attackers, and then right away begin to position yourself so that you always have one attacker between you and the other attacker. And what you're going to do is while you're fighting the first of the two attackers, you're going to be keeping an eye with your peripheral vision on what this person's doing here. You never want to lose sight of that second attacker. So as soon as you see this attacker break to this side here, right away you're going to move this way. You're always going to keep this attacker in front of you. You're going to be engaging this person as you fight with this person here. But in your peripheral vision, you never want to lose sight of where the second guy is. If you ever lose sight of this person here, you're dead. So you keep an eye on them. If they come this way, then right away it's a shorter move for you to go this way. Right? If they're going to move like this, then right away you're going to move like this. you're always going to use the second attacker as a shield, or the first attacker as a shield, and never let the second one get close to you. And ironically enough, the closer they get to this person here, the easier it is for you to keep an eye on both of them at the same time. If this person gets further away out here, even though they have a longer distance to move, it's easier for you to lose sight of where they are, right? You're not able to necessarily see what they're doing and what's going on. But if they're right in front of you like this, and they're close, you can keep an eye on both of these attackers, and you can continue to use the first attacker as a shield against the second attacker and keep them in between you. So no matter where this guy goes, you're going to move like this. So just to recap, most 2-on-1 situations, if there's going to be a 2-on-1, it's going to start out probably like this. Both attackers in front of you like this, and you're going to be here like this. You never want it to get to a situation where you have an attacker in front of you and an attacker behind you like this. That is the worst possible scenario that you can find yourself in. So if this ever happens to you, where you get into this position here, you've got to get out of there as quickly as possible. Move out, move around, use one of the attackers as a shield, and always keep them in between you and the second attacker as best you can. And this is another reason why you don't want to fight on the ground. So I've mentioned this in other videos with Taekwondo and Hapki-Do, and how it is predominantly stand-up striking, and the philosophy is that we don't fight on the ground. If we get down to the ground, we get back up to our feet as quickly as possible. The reason is obvious. When you're in a real-world situation and you have more than one attacker, if you and this attacker go to the ground and you're now fighting on the ground, as you would see in a mixed martial arts fight, this person here is just going to be on you immediately. You're going to get stomped, and it's going to be over very, very quickly. So never take the fight to the ground when it's a 2-on-1. Always stay on your feet, and always stay out of this situation, and don't try to fight out of this situation either. Always get it to something like this. Till next time, thanks.